I release stress
I release stress
and embrace tranquility.
and embrace tranquility. So many people going through stuff where I feel like understanding the ways in which we can manage stress and build resilience is extremely important.
When we feel stress, sometimes it's because we lose the contact with ourselves and we worry too much.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Team Alignment Podcast. My name is Dr. Amara, and I'm your host. On this podcast, we share strategies and best practices on how to lead and build a more inclusive team. And right now, I have a most incredible guest with me, a friend of mine, a colleague. Her name is Elisa Di Pasquale, and today we're going to be talking about how to manage stress at work. Welcome, Elisa.
Thank you, Amara. Hello, everyone. I'm Elisa, a transformation consultant, and I help individuals and companies not just making change, but lead it. So I think it's very important for me to be here today as a passionate about meditation and yoga and wellness in general to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we are here to support as many people as we can.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Elisa, for sharing. I remember when we started planning this podcast and we're thinking, what would be a good topic? And we felt like stress would be an area where we could definitely add a lot of value just because there's just so much going on right now. So many people have been laid off at work, teams are changing. And not only that, you have people who have to go to work as well as fend for their families. And we don't know what other circumstances are actually ongoing. So knowing how to manage stress at work, I think is a great tool, is a good way to think of the workplace. And I think maybe we could start a conversation around, what is stress? How do we manage our stress? And what can people do to handle stressful situations? What are some top things? So maybe we can start with stress. For me, when I think of stress, I think of it as when we're feeling challenged or we're under tremendous pressure that could cause us to feel a bit outside of ourselves and cause us to feel all sorts of not so nice feelings. So I don't know, maybe you can add a little bit to that.
Yeah, I feel that when we feel stress, sometimes it's because we lose the contact with ourselves and we worry too much what is on the outside, right? When we cannot see what is really happening out there, and it's difficult for us to deeply feeling and seeing the potential that we have within. Then of course, I did a study in NLPL that our thoughts can really shape our reality. So we, in a stressful situation, we really find ourselves like thinking very negative thoughts and not seeing where's the goal and the visualization of ourselves succeeding. Right. We've been talking about that when we were creating this event. Most of the stressful situations are coming when we focus too much on the past or the future, when what is really important is that we live the present and we are here and now. I know that it sounds a little bit, but it is true. When we feel that we are present, that we are here, it's the 21st of May, it's me and you and other amazing people listening. It's like, okay, I'm here now. I can feel my body. I can see myself smiling on the screen or relaxing and having that feeling that we are here in this space so we can ground and touch things. We can feel our breath and we can see us. And there's like, okay, I'm in a safe place now and with amazing people. So it's all good.
Yeah, thank you. I remember you shared that having a conversation yesterday, and you talked about, yes, when we stress it's because we're kind of focused on the past. And you're right, because, I'm also going through the tremendous change in my life, having lost my job and trying to create a new pathway in terms of following my passion and becoming an entrepreneur and really focusing on my passion around building and supporting teams using my skill set over 15 years. And I remember just feeling so stressed and what am I going to do? Like, I don't have a client yet, and when we had a conversation, I realized that a lot of times I was looking back to the beginning of the year, like, oh my gosh, and thinking about what's happened in the past and where I am at the moment and just stressing out. I remember one time like really having a panic attack because some things that just didn't go as I planned. And I remember my husband just telling me, just breathe. breathe. So yeah, you're absolutely right. We can't escape stress. I mean, if it's not the work stress, we've got the family stress. So yeah, I think that's important to be in the present, to really connect with how we're feeling in the now and be aware of our bodies in the now. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Amara. Thank you for sharing, first of all, because I think this is the first step when we actually want to make it better for us and when we want to feel better. Because when we are able to show our vulnerability, and there's nothing wrong, it's perfectly fine when we want to ask for support and for help. This is exactly what we need to do in order for us to feel more seen and to receive the support and sometimes even the validation from the outside, because looking for a job, looking for clients, it can really shift the way that we see ourselves. So, which is leading to the second thing that I think it's very important. I would say grounding and feeling our body and where we are and living the now is the first one. But then the second one is definitely ensuring that we ask for support and we self-love ourselves along the process, because we are here on a journey and it's a process, looking for a job, creating a new business, presenting ourselves to a client. It's a process. So I think that during this process it can keep maintaining that self-love for ourselves. It's very, very important. Anything that we could say that could help us passing through and going through it with a successful mindset and a growth mindset could actually relieve the stress and could actually help us managing and navigating the situation, right? I think self-love is very, 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 very important.
Gosh, you're so right. And I think that it's so easy to forget that too, because I know that at the beginning, I was like, oh, I can do it. I don't need to ask anyone for help. I can, because you've been in control of your life, whatever, all the things you've been doing over the years. You don't think to ask for help because you feel like asking for help makes you a bit weak. Oh, what will people say? So yes, I think when you really love yourself, you try to do things that protect yourself. You try to do things that to help you. And asking for help is one way to reach out to people and say, hey, look, I'm really struggling. How do you do this? Or how do you get this type of client? Or what can I do? I've tried this and it's not working out. So yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Sorry, Amara, if I can add a personal experience on that, I have the feeling that now we do find ourselves most of the time like talking to ChatGPT and doing our own research, but we do not ask help to others. So I think that, for example, when I lost my jobs in the past, when I decided myself to close a project and when I decided to become a solo entrepreneur, the first thing that I thought was like, okay, cool. So now it's my time to change everything. I can do whatever I want. I can do. So you have those 2 months where you take time for yourself and you start creating new things, new products, new offering. And then you lose track of who you really are. What's your purpose? What are your values? So I think it's important that we ask for help to human beings, but then at the same time that we manage our creative moment, because we have no limits, but then at the same time, when we want to have a quick win, a result, we want a client, we want a job. So we need to go back to the grounding, right? And being practical as well. So yeah, this is something that really helped me when I create my own business. Like, okay, cool. I'm creating some products by 6 months and then I'm gonna go live. But meanwhile, I'm stuck with my networking or whatever, right? So yeah.
I mean, thanks also for sharing, and I completely agree, because I think a lot of people are on ChatGPT, but as much as that's a reality of everyone now, we're in this AI age. Having connections also is extremely important, and I think it's also great to use this space as an opportunity to really do the things that you always wanted to do. Now you have the time. For example, now that I have the time, I can create things that I've always imagined, and I have done so actually through this process. I want us to talk a little bit about tremendous stress can be experienced in the workplace just because of the nature of the workplace, and depending on where the persons are coming from, people coming from, we can't escape from stress. So we have acute stress, which could be as a result of maybe a deadline or things that we need to get done. And then we can have chronic stress when the stress has been prolonged. And I wanted to talk about the workplace and what we can do to deal with the different types of stress people feel. For example, we know that the workplace, you can get stressed out because of your colleagues. Maybe your colleagues are not as supportive. I don't know. What are some of your experiences around sources of stress in the workplace?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Thank you. And I would like to give you two layers of the stress point of view, right? When I start any project, there are those 6 months where you need to understand and we need to adjust to the team, to the new processes, to the new technology. So you are in a very receptive mode and you really need to receive guidance and from your managers and from any of your stakeholders. So, for example, I discover myself that I have a really difficult time when I need to deal with micromanaging or more anxious people that they check in all the time and that they don't give me, I feel that trust, So I really had to work on that because I was feeling very stressful with people checking in. Because my first thought was, why they don't trust me? Why they don't trust me? Why they have to check in? Why they need to be reassured all the time? But then I realized that it was not just from my side. Some people, they really need to feel that control. So what I did was proactively sending out feedback, sending out updates of what was going on. So I made that the other person feeling more comfortable that everything was in control. And then I realized asking myself, what is really my control? What is not? And when I was feeling very, very stressful, I really applied the meditation tips. So I was really like closing my eyes, taking a deep breath, literally for 4 seconds, and then exhaling, taking like 4 minutes for myself, for full circle. Like, let's do it quickly right now. When you do inhale, exhale it all for 4 seconds. And then exhale. You really feel that your body is changing. Even my voice is changing now. And
Yeah, that's true.
Receptive mode, and something that I used to do is like going for a walk if I can, or starting again, just getting off the screen. So I think it's really, really important that we can take that time understanding the people around us, really asking what is in our control, what is not, and then taking the time for ourselves to relax and realizing, okay, it's all good. And then the other layer that I want to share with you guys today is sometimes I'm the person causing stress. I'm the project manager asking for deadline. I'm the person asking for updates. So my new strategy now in the workplace is really having one-to-one with all the stakeholders and all the people facing change and active listening, understanding and create that connection, because I'm a very empathic person, so I can feel if you're stressed. So I really try to calm down the other person, showing all the different scenarios that are in our control, what is not in control, and adjust based on the person that I have in front of me.
I mean, it's interesting because you've been in the situation where you felt a lot of stress because the line manager or team leaders are micromanaging. And at the same time, you've also been that project manager having to ask for those deadlines, and who knows, also causing stress to your reports. But what I really like is that you have this level of self-awareness and you understand things you can do to relieve stress. And I think that's important because the workplace is so complex and there's so many people going through stuff where I feel like understanding the ways in which we can manage stress and build resilience is extremely important. Well, you were just sharing this exercise of breathing in for 4 seconds and then holding and then releasing it. That's also a technique that's used to activate the vagus nerve. And I know that the vagus nerve is a cranial nerve 10, I think it's called 10, which brings a sense of calmness to the body. It resets the stress level. It kind of de-stresses the body. So when you did that exercise, I think that would be one way to activate the vagus nerve to bring a sense of calm to the body. I could really feel it. Even if I just inhaled the first time, I could really feel it. And I think it's important. The reason why I talk about the vagus nerve is important because in the workplace, we need to know that we have this system in our body that impacts the way we think, the way we feel. The vagus nerve runs all the way from the brainstem all the way down to the colon, and it interacts with the throat, the heart, the digestive system, the lungs, like literally everything. So it's able to bring us a sense of whenever we're stressed, if we know how to activate it to kind of bring a sense of calm to the body, that's a good tool. So you just did the breathing exercise. I think that's really powerful. I think there are also other things I read when I was preparing for this. Singing. Did you know like singing or humming is another way of activating the vagus nerve? What are some other ways in which we can activate it?
I think, first of all, what you're talking about, sharing the vagus nerve topic today, it's fantastic. So thank you for bringing it out loud because we do not talk about it much, right? If we ask
Yeah.
ourselves how to stimulate the vagus nerve, and because we know that it activates the rest and the digest state. So there are very natural ways and science-based techniques to do that. So the deep, slow breathing, as we were saying, the chanting, the praying, that we were anything that is can activate our throat is important. The cold exposure now is very cold water or anything that can actually waken up, the meditation and the mindfulness that we were talking about at the beginning. But there is one technique that I really discovered, and not everyone is talking about that, right? The tapping, the EFT. So it
Uh-huh.
works in this way that we do identify the issue. So we choose a specific issue or feeling that we want to address, such as stress, anxiety, or negative emotion. And then we set up the statement like, even though I feel stress about this and that, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Hmm.
So after we choose the statement or any type of affirmation that I prepare for you, so maybe I encourage people to reach out to us after the podcast so I can share the documents. Then after we choose the statement, we tap on any acupressure points, right? Any acupressure points like eyebrow, at the beginning of the eyebrow, near the bridge of the nose, side of the bone, side of the eye, on the bone near of the corner of the eye, under the eye, on the bone under the eye, like for 5, 7 times each, under the nose to increase between the nose and the upper lip, the chin, between the
That's
point
a
of
good
your
segue.
chin and the bottom of your lower lip. Yeah, I love the chin, but I love the collarbone as well, right? So the idea is imagine that you say, even though I feel stress about work, I
About work.
deeply, I deeply and completely accept myself. And you can do it and you start from the eyebrow.
Okay,
I
let us. Why don't we start? Yeah, let's just start it. Oh, I'm getting some comments here. One second. Then maybe there's some people have asking some questions.
Yeah,
Ah,
sure.
okay. Sergey says I tried this one lately. It's been powerful for me. Oh, good. Thank you, Sergey, for. Oh yeah, let's put him on there. Thank you so much
Thank you,
for.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
So
Okay.
powerful, and I like to do it based on my personality. This is why it's so important that you know yourself and your body, right? I like to do it standing because I know that I feel more energized. But if you feel more low and if you want to be more intimate, and sometimes we really want to feel that moment for just for us, you start touching any acupuncture point. And for me, for example, this one is very powerful. And I do that, I repeat my statement, and I combine with the breathing, right? So I breathe in peace and I exhale stress. So there are a lot of combinations. We do not have so much time today, but maybe if you want to visualize it, some affirmations are like, I am calm and centered.
Yeah.
The other one that I mentioned now is, I breathe in peace and I breathe out tension. Imagine
Ah, I
how
breathe in
powerful.
peace and breathe out tension. Oh, Okay, that's a good one. It's a good one.
And if you do it for 5 times, already your nerve can receive it and change. Or another one is, I release stress and embrace tranquility.
I release stress and embrace tranquility. So do we say it like, do we breathe it in and breathe out, or how would you do it?
Yeah, I always combine with the breathing, but in this case that we are talking about tapping, you start here, for example, and you keep repeating yourself. I release stress.
I release stress.
And embrace tranquility.
And embrace tranquility. Oh.
I release stress.
I release stress.
And embrace tranquility.
And embrace tranquility, okay.
Or if we want to change something that we were saying at the beginning, very, very powerful, as the statement that we were saying connected to the self-love. Even though I feel stressed.
I feel stressed.
About work.
About work.
I deeply and completely love myself.
Love myself.
Even though I feel stressed.
Even though I feel stressed
about work. I deeply and completely love myself.
Love myself. Okay.
This is more powerful than caffeine. Imagine entering in a stressful meeting right now, or going to a one-to-one conversation where you need to give feedback or receive feedback.
Yeah. So maybe we can do that in the bathroom or just before, because I mean, I think if we're walking around doing this, people might be like, what's going on with them?
Maybe walking around, yeah, but you see, Amar, that's our worry about other people, what they think about us. Sometimes if we don't care, now I can go to a park and meditate there. I stand and I sit in there 10 minutes. I honestly don't care what people think, because I know that I'm taking my time to work on my self-growth and on my discipline.
Yeah.
Of course, when you are in office, it's harder. So you go to the toilet, or you stay in your studio or in your room, and then you enter. And if you need to have a sales pitch, probably, you relax and distress, but maybe you want to have a different energy. So my style is more energetic. So I will never go to a room where I need to sell something and being completely like melted. So if I'm not selling my meditation courses, if I need to motivate, for example, a client that they are going through a very difficult situation in their company, they are imagining that their business is going very down and they are close to bankrupt. I can go there very relaxed to calm down the situation, but during the entire meeting, I need to change my tones and the way that I'm presenting myself, Otherwise, if I'm too relaxed, maybe someone that is very stressed, it won't appreciate it. So, but let's keep it for our self-work today, right?
I think it's such a great technique. While you were doing the tapping, I realized you're tapping those centers, because I remember watching a lot of videos to understand the vagus nerve and what people have to say about that. And these are pressure points that actually can activate the vagus nerve. So it makes sense that tapping is a more direct way of bringing attention to yourself and also activating the vagus nerve. I've done tapping before, but I had no idea that it connects to the vagus nerve. I didn't know what was happening. So while you're just showing me the tapping points, like, of course, it makes a lot of sense. These are the strands where the nerves connect with the vagus nerve. So bringing instant relief, bringing a sense of calm. So it's beautiful to see that. I see some people are also chatting.
I know, I'm just adding. I'm adding in the chat. And also, I'm not an expert, right, on this, but the acupuncture points are connected to the nerves as well. So that's another full study around that. The chakras are very energetic, important point that we can activate or we can work through. And I really suggest any type of YouTube video that you might see to help you, any guided affirmations or any guided meditation that can help you out, and start today, like 10 minutes for yourself. And also, I know that we are very close on time, but something that, for example, I'm using now is an app. I'm working in repeating my affirmations. And if you look around, it's plenty of app like manifesting your goals. And it helps you repeating your affirmations. I don't know if you can, yeah. You see this one, I have my affirmation. Sorry, because I have, yeah. You see here, there is the affirmation, then you repeat it out loud 3 times. So this is more for affirmations type of people. Typing is good for the body, is something that we do not hear very often, and it's very powerful. Then what we hear very often are go for a walk, spend time in nature, and ensure that you sleep well, eat well, exercise. So of course, on top of this, we are just sharing today something maybe new, hopefully for someone, that they can use straight away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Elisa. I think for this episode, if there's one thing whoever listeners are taking away from it, I think it's knowing how to do that. Because like you rightly said, everybody knows to deep breathe and to go for a walk, to exercise. All of these things also help bring a sense of calm. But the beauty about using EFT, using a tapping solution, is something we could do very quickly. So when we tap, we can instantly connect with ourselves and bring that sense of calm. And I think that's something that people can take away. Yeah.
I'm really happy because I think that what we are sharing today is very powerful. And I would say that 2 main takeaways for all of us, not just who is listening, but myself and yourself included, is that knowing ourselves is very, very important. And any type of techniques or exercise that could help us having that feeling that we are taking care of ourselves, that we love ourselves, the food that we cook. And then when we are at work, okay, cool, thinking this is not personal, this is just a game, this is a job. Not all the time, sorry, that someone is talking to us personal. Most of the time it's not. So yeah, I think it's very, very important, and asking for support if we feel that we need support, and if we feel that we are close to the burnout, yeah, definitely reach out for support.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Elisa, for sharing and for teaching us how to do the tapping. I was going to ask you, if you just tapped the temporal area and the collar here, is that enough? Or do you need to tap all around, like, for example, the arms, and I think sometimes people do the sides. Is that necessary? Or is this just enough?
I think it's enough. You can add it under the arm. So on the side of the body, about 4 inches below the armpit. And I added here in the document, maybe we can share with the people. And under the arm, it's very powerful. I personally do a kind of massage for myself because I like it. So it's just touching. But the tapping, it's all on the upper body and then on the arm. I don't do it on the legs. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but based on what I've been trying and studied so far, no, I maintain just the upper part.
Yeah, it works because I definitely felt calm. Thank you. That's really good. I mean, I would like us to maybe do another session, another episode where we go into even more detail and maybe just do like a practice with other people. But this has been very, very eye-opening for me. Thank you so much for spending time at the Team Alignment podcast. Yeah, for people who are tuning in or maybe rewatching the video, please send us your comments if you have any questions. We want to answer them. We want to engage with you. Elisa is an expert in bringing transformational processes in a cooperative environment and also with building a sense of wellness. She's really an advocate for well-being and wellness, and can always add a lot of inputs into work processes and structures. So if this is something that's really resonating with you, please reach out to us. And Elisa, is there something you'd like to share with us in terms of maybe where people can find you or maybe some other projects people can follow?
Before doing that, thank you. I would like to thank you today, and I would like to encourage people to reach out to you as well if they are looking for any team alignment in their workplace, in their in their company, in their job. You're brilliant in running workshops and helping out people understanding how they can align and work together. I can definitely, I'm sure that I can see your energy, so they know what to expect. And yeah, I really would like to encourage people to reach out to me on LinkedIn here, asking any type of questions regarding how I become a solo entrepreneur or how do I meditate. So we can actually create maybe next month another podcast and we can talk about that. We really would like to personalize what we are doing here and make it ad hoc for you. So yeah, reach out on LinkedIn and I will be happy to have new friends and people that I can connect with. Thank you,
Awesome.
Mara. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, so many people are saying thank you. Let's list some names.
I
Thank
can
you,
see
Sergey. We have Sergey saying thank you. We have Priscilla Yango also saying thank you. Thank you, Priscilla.
very international as usual. I love it. I love it. Big hugs to everyone, and I hope you're gonna have a nice day.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you so
you.
much.
Chat
Thank
soon.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.